Hey Julia, how are you?
I'm good, Ivy. Thanks.
That's great. I'm good too. Thanks for asking.
Oh, yeah. Look, I got my nails done today. Do you like them?
Yeah, they're pretty nice. What else did you do today?
Well, I went for a walk, and then I did my homework, and then I came back and I made some lunch, and then I did some readings, and then I went for a bike ride, and then I watched some Netflix.
Wow. Um, yeah, I don't know. I had kind of a bad day. I don't know. It's just been rough.
Oh, me too, actually. Like yesterday was really bad. You know that girl I was telling you about? Yeah, she's just so rude. Like, I can't believe her.
That's rough. That is so rough. Almost as rough as talking
My
to
pet
someone
peeve
who
is that I
only
hate
talks
it when
about
people
themselves.
only talk about themselves. It's the worst. It makes it feel like they don't care about you. It shows that they don't think others are as important as themselves. It's just awful. Trying to have a conversation with someone who only talks about themselves, it's impossible. You can see examples of people who don't care about others everywhere in everyday life. From the people who personally annoy you by only talking about their boring, pointless lives, to politicians who ignore their electorate, Stephen Harper, to even corporations and countries who ignore the needs and desires of others in order to satisfy their own wants. This heinous practice has been going on throughout history. Humans and human civilizations have a long history of taking over other villages, communities, and even civilizations, ignoring the people who originally lived there in order to get what they want, which is usually land, food, profit. The Romans, Greeks, and even the feudal societies in the Middle Ages all did this, right up until colonialism. Colonialism was, I think, the worst example of this, with the British, the French, and the Spanish traveling to other countries, claiming them as their own, taking all of the resources, and killing and ignoring the needs of the people who already lived there. For example, when the Spanish, French, and British came to North America, specifically Canada, they stole almost all of the land from the Aboriginals, and then they tried to kill most of them, they broke treaties with them, and they tried to assimilate them into residential schools finally. In some cases, this has culminated into breaches of international law. For example, Rwandan forces invaded the Congo in 1996, right after the Hutus and Tutsis tragedy, and have since been accused of exploiting the Congo's minerals. In 1999, both countries signed the Lusaka ceasefire agreement, which called for Rwandan militias to leave the Congo. Years later, this still has not happened, and the Congo is in worse shape than ever. It's clear that Rwanda does not care about the Congo and only cares about itself, even though it is a breach of a treaty that it signed with another state. At the corporate level, you have corporations who ignore human rights and break international laws in order to get what they want: profit. One of the best examples of this is transnational corporations that break international laws, such as the law set down in the UN Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Almost every country in the world has ratified the UN Declaration of Rights and Freedoms, and several articles in this illustrate international laws that should not be broken. For example, Article 4 of this states that nobody shall be held in slavery or servitude. Article 5 states that nobody shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment or punishment. More tellingly, Article 123 says that everybody has the right to just and favorable conditions of work. Therefore, any company that uses child labor, sweatshops, or forced labor has broken international laws. There are many transnational corporations who do this. They base their companies in one country, they sell their clothing in several different nations, and they manufacture their clothes as cheaply as possible in countries that ignore human rights. So, there you have it. Although it bothers me personally when people only talk about themselves, instances of not caring about others manifest themselves in a way that is 100 times worse on the world stage.